My wife, Her Excellency Pastor Mrs. Patience Umo Eno, and I send a hearty congratulations to you all on the occasion of the 36th anniversary of the creation of our dear state, the land of promise, Akwa Ibom State. It was exactly 36 years ago today that God hearkened to the prayers of our forebears with the creation of this great land of promise that was fittingly named after him. 36 years later, it has been a story of God's awesome grace, of stupendous lifting up even when there was a casting down. Today, the state that upon our creation 36 years ago was a dusty rural backwater where the roads were narrow and most looked like bush tracks, now enjoys the enviable position of being the subnational with possibly the best road network in the nation. Today, a mere 36 years after our creation, the capital city of Uyo, which was a dusty provincial headquarters with homes that composed of some smattering of thatched houses, boasts of some of the most elegant estates with beautiful homes you will find anywhere in the world. Today, 36 years later, our children are smashing records. Our reading culture has been ignited with the recent Guinness World Record attempt by one of our great sons, John Obot, for the longest hours spent reading aloud. Life expectancy has improved considerably because of the improvement in the primary and secondary, even quaternary healthcare facilities. Today, our state has become the destination of choice for conferences, seminars, and other national events with thriving social and creative life. Thanks to our hospitable nature, peace and tranquility we enjoy. Our rich cuisines, which earlier this year gained further national and international acclaim with the exploits of our daughter, Hilda Bassi, who won the Guinness World Record for the longest hours of cooking by an individual. Our state is attracting visitors in thousands, with most deciding to live and work here. Our state 36 years later is the only subnational with a thriving commercial airline, Ibom Air, that has become the nation's most preferred airline, thus cementing our position as both a tourism magnet and a destination for investors. Fellow Akwa Ibomites, you will agree with me that in 36 years, we have made giant leaps in every sector of the human experience. We give God the glory for the leadership He has blessed us with. Leaders who came with such ferocious appetite to develop, lift, and ensure sustainable development for our people. Permit me at this point to pay a glowing tribute to the man whom God used to give us this priceless land of promise, our revered former president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Thank you, sir, for this gift, and on behalf of the ever-grateful people of Akwa Ibom State, we wish you continuous good health and God's immeasurable blessings. Let me also thank all the past governors of this state from the military era, led by our first military governor, Brigadier General Tunde Ogbeya, retired, Major General Godwin Abe, retired, late Air Commodore Tuekong Ironsinkanga, retired, late Obong Akmani Semen, Colonel Yakubu Bako, retired, late Navy Captain Joseph Adeusi, retired, Group Captain John Ebiye, retired. To the father of modern Akwa Ibom State, Architect Obong Victor Atta, who led the foundation for the growth and development we are currently experiencing. To the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Distinguished Senator Godswill Obodo Akpabio, CON, for the fervor and hunger for physical development of our state he exhibited in the course of his 8-year tenure. Particular mention must be made of my political father, the immediate past governor of this state, Mr. Dom Emmanuel, CON, who saw in me what others may not have seen, and through the will of God and his faith in my capacity, competence, character, Christian values, and your overwhelming and unassailable support at the polls, I am today addressing you as the governor of this state. Today, because of his passionate dedication to the advancement of our infrastructure, Akwa Ibom State has about the best road network in the nation and the best commercial airline in the nation, Ibom Air. It is because of the performance of our past leaders that I'm daily being motivated to continue from where they had stopped. It has been a little over 100 days since I was sworn in as your governor. Today, my fellow Akwa Ibomites, I can say that we have hit the ground running, and God has been an ever-present guide as we work to translate our vision into practical, measurable, and impactful forms. While you elected me for the first 4 years with the hopes of gaining your trust for a continuous journey of our shared prosperity, as I stated in my message to mark the 100 days, the ship of our state is anchored and moored on a solid shoreline. The energy is overcharged. The vision is clear and distinct. The hands of the ship of state is firm, and the gaze for what lies ahead is focused and unwavering. I remain deeply committed to ushering in a vibrant, inclusive, diversified, and highly industrialized economy through the use of highly developed human and material resources. As such, the achievement of the 8 goals of my blueprint for economic consolidation and expansion remains a daily priority. Besides, my 8 goals are in sync with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, of the United Nations Agenda for Development. Therefore, achieving this goal will translate into achieving the SDGs in Akwa Ibom State. The Arise Agenda, which is the flagship program of my administration, is still being used to deploy sector-wide strategies and actions within the purview of our 5-group aspiration. I am unapologetically committed to prioritizing agricultural revolution, tourism development, environmental management, rural development, women and youth empowerment, infrastructural maintenance, security, education, health management, economic, industrial, and social advancement. Our key focus is on rural development, which aligns with the United Nations SDG 5 on improved standard of living. This is so because our past leaders followed the approach that mature democracies have adopted, which is to provide enduring and solid infrastructure, especially road network and other hard infrastructure, so the succeeding administration can deploy resources to develop and improve the standard of living of the people in the hinterlands. This is exactly what we are determined to do. The key element of the Arise Agenda is to open up our rural areas, provide access roads, ignite agricultural revolution, and reduce the push and desire for people to migrate from rural to urban areas. Once we improve the quality of the life of our rural dwellers, embark on the One Local Government One Project exercise, create neighborhood watchers to provide both employment to our youths in the local government areas and to maintain the peace and security we have been enjoying, improve primary health care service delivery, establish model primary schools, and link the over 2,272 gazetted villages with electricity, we will be right on track with our rural development agenda. To activate this vision, we have established the State Rural Access Road Agency, RARA, an offshoot of the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, RAMP, a World Bank development project led by competent professionals. We are optimistic that sooner the entire nook and crannies of Akwa Ibom State will be one gigantic land of very hardworking, self-sufficient, and happy people, rising in one accord to fulfill the dreams of our founding fathers and God's plans for us all. So far, we have flagged off critical roads in all the 3 senatorial districts, and the first we had flagged off a little over 2 months ago, the internal roads, complete with solar power street lights, Ndia Street in Uruakban and them has been completed ahead of schedule by our very own NSEC integrated services. Work is ongoing on the 1.1 kilometer Spring Road in Ikorekpene, same with the 2.1 kilometer Okpong Street and 2.1 kilometer Ifyongesang Street with 800 meter length of discharge drains in Oron local government areas. The 11 kilometer Waruta, Nwoku, Ekera Faudo, Eyop, Ibom by Ekpo Market roads connecting Ibesikpo Sultan with Nsut, Ibom local government areas respectively. We are constructing a 2.2 kilometer Tabernacle Road with 0.97 kilometer underground drain that will empty into the Calabar to road drainage in its local government area. Several erosion intervention works are currently ongoing in the state, especially on Atiku Abubakar and the Udo Iwan in Uyo. To ignite our agricultural revolution in line with our RISE agenda, we have acquired over 50 hectares of land in each of the 31 local government areas to ensure food security and to get our people to be involved in agro-allied enterprises. As a practical demonstration of this resolve, we recently signed an MOU with the world-renowned Songhai Farms to start a model farm in our state, and have already sent dozens of our people for training so they could form the nucleus of the skilled workers to drive this exercise. A little over 2 weeks ago, I led a delegation of some members of the ESCO on a walking tour of the farm in Cotonou, and it was quite a revealing experience. We are on the cusp of truly igniting agricultural revolution and food security in line with our RISE agenda. We have steadily paid gratuities to local government, primary school teachers, and state workers. Over 3 billion has so far been released for this exercise. We have commenced an initial 5-month payment of leave grants in the state civil service. This exercise started the second month I resumed as governor, and the first phase will end in December. You will agree with me that this has been bold steps taken to address these issues. We are constructing model primary schools and primary healthcare facilities across the 3 senatorial districts, and work is ongoing at a fast pace at the location of the first of the 3 model primary schools, the Christ the King School on Wellington Basiwe Uyo. Education remains free and compulsory at primary and secondary levels. As part of the palliatives we are rolling out, we intend to support parents with school uniforms, shoes, and the payment of bursary to students in tertiary institutions after proper verifications. To cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy in line with the palliatives of 5 billion naira, of which 2 billion has already been received from the federal government by way of loan, we have commenced the distribution of palliatives of 40 bags of rice to each of the gazetted 2,272 villages, cash transfers to 53,000 civil servants across the state, the additional bags of rice we have bought from our rice millers. All these have raised our contributions to the palliative scheme to over 5 billion naira to complement that of the federal government. Our commitment to the payment of WAEC fees is irrevocable, and we have already done so since we came in. We have also instituted 100 million naira intervention funds for students with disability. Our Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Center will soon be up and running, aimed at equipping our people with the right entrepreneurial and leadership skills, thus preparing them to compete with their peers elsewhere, in line with the SDGs goal number 7, which is aimed at producing highly educated and skilled populace. To ensure that we continue to enjoy peace we are known for, we have created a full-fledged new ministry, the Ministry of Internal Security and Waterways, headed by a retired general of the Nigerian Army, General Kokoe Sen. Again, in line with SDG goals number 8, which is on safety and security, Our security architecture is robust and remains committed to working collaboratively to ensure our safety. We thank the security agencies immensely for this deep sense of collaboration. In the course of my campaign, I pledged to demystify governance and make myself available to the common people, since it is from that segment of the society that God raised me up to be the governor of this blessed state. Against conventional wisdom, I have stopped by at various roadside shops as I traverse the length and breadth of this state and have patronized roadside vendors, empowered them with seed funds to expand their trade. I'll continue to do so because if I could overcome adversities to fulfill God's plan in my life, others too can. Some of these families earn their living by those petty trades, and they must be supported. We are determined to ensure that our comparative advantage in blue economy is utilized to improve the quality of lives of our fishermen as well as our tourism sector, which is a critical sector in our RISE agenda. We recently flagged off the construction of the Arise City Estate in Bierebe, Akwa, Ibechikpo, Asutan local government area. Our first made in Akwa Ibom Trade Fair will be opened later today, and we want to unfold the creative and entrepreneurial spirit of our people. This is a platform for our fashion designers, shoemakers, and other creative people to come and showcase their products. We will support and encourage them with seed money, equipment, and will also buy from them, especially those who will make the uniforms and shoes that we are giving to our children as part of our palliative packages. In my inaugural address, concern about the political polarization of our dear state was raised. I stated that elections are over and our kindred spirit must be renewed and deepened. We are all Akwa Ibomite first before politics. Politics, therefore, must not separate or sever the ties of our brotherhood and common heritage and aspiration. I pledge to you that I will be governor for all Akwa Ibomites, irrespective of political persuasions or affiliations, instead of war on critical issues of our development, unity, and brotherhood. So far, as demonstrated during our hugely successful Ibom dialogue and our important events, we have worked across party lines to advance the development of our state, since politics must give way to governance. Let me at this point thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his kind invitation for me to be a part of his delegation at the recently concluded 78th United Nations General Assembly in New York. This is the spirit of inclusivity and bipartisanship that we need in this state and in our nation. I was elected as the governor of this state, and we have citizens who did not vote for me because they belong to other parties. I put my hands on the Bible and swore an oath to serve you all, and I will continue to do so as long as I am on this seat. So naysayers, please take note. I call on our people to shed their political swords and let us work together to advance the growth of our state and our nation. Let me end this broadcast by quoting from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. And I quote, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare, not for evil, to give you a future and a hope," unquote. May these plans come to pass in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ in every life in Akwa Ibom State and beyond. Happy 36th anniversary to us all. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.